hallway. We're back. What happened last time? Oh, we got pizza, asked for the number and it failed. Then the car got fucked. Met one of Cassiopeia, I forgot her name. Friends. Had a little talk with a homegirl, Elle. Patted us on the head. Tight shit. What else happened? I honestly can't remember. Oh, then yeah, and then there was a little interaction, a little scuffle in the room, in the art room. Not really a scuffle, but pretty much we ended up opening some weird wounds, or not weird wounds. Just kind of pressed a little too much in somewhere we shouldn't have, and turns out we're a criminal. Love to see it. All right, let's go. Alright. With the sun beginning to set, Elle and I say our goodbyes to Caprice. Caprice, that's her name. I don't know why I thought it was Cassiopeia. Caprice before heading out into the hallway. Calming Caprice down after she gets a bright idea feels like trying to stifle a shaken soda can after opening it. She might still be brimming with energy, but the two of us leave the art clubs utterly deflated. The art club's room. We should have just joined the normal art club, you know, the one which isn't led by a maniac. I wish I could get the two of them to see eye to eye more often. Caprice did say she's doing all this for Elle's sake as much as her own, and she's far too straightforward to be lying about that. It's difficult to push back on Elle though, given how prideful a person she is. I seem to attract strong-willed friends. She is, a lot. She means well though. Well, maybe it's not so bad if you're around to keep her occupied. For what it's worth, I was actually thinking this might be a fun little adventure. I wanted to thank you for making all of this work out. She makes an exquisitely awkward face, caught between my thanking her and the idea of having to share her room with us, and anyone else Caprice manages to rope in. From now on, I just smile as we start. Damn, hold on. Let me throw on the reading glasses. Jesus Christ. Also, I am trying to finish this early because they're doing a checkup for cockroaches in my apartment. But if I do leave for like 30 minutes, that's why. I just smile as we start down the quiet hallway, Al taking a look out the window. Our gaze lingers for just a little longer than usual, the snow once again having started falling outside. I can't blame her, given how pretty it looks. Zam, going to be shoveling snow again. What a pain. Who are you, Shikamaru? She really isn't the sentimental type.
Huh?
Did I say something wrong? I was just thinking, you don't seem to have a very romantic view of the world, being an artist. Huh? Did I read that correctly? Oh, yeah, I did. Is there much good about winter? Being back with family, all the pretty snow around, people in cute jackets and coats, holidays, fat booty Latinas. That has nothing to do with the winter, but I just like fat booty Latinas. I end up trailing off. I was hardly looking swayed as I count my favorite things about the season on my fingers. Holidays are the problem. Everywhere is starting to close up or shut down for the new year already. I want to keep practicing instead of loafing around, but the life drawing classes are over, and all the students for modeling offers have dried up. I have seen notices for those on the notice boards around campus. Wow, with students and others making a little cash on the side by modeling for artists. Those same notice boards have become much more bare over the last month. I feel sorry for her, given she takes her painting so seriously. I was so caught up in wanting to be back with my family that I didn't think about how it'd be for her, especially when she doesn't get along with hers. As long as we walk along the hallway, I realized this might, whoa, where am I? I realized this might present an opportunity, a chance for me to help out and be part of her painting, instead of simply watching her from afar. I'm not completely sure about this, but my obvious scheming has already caught Elle's eyes. If it'd be helpful, I mean, maybe I could do it? At this, Elle stops and turns to me. Should I have not suggested that? Nah, you good. You just need me to stand around and be a model, right? There's not a lot to it. This would be live modeling, you know. I don't want to give you the wrong idea. The reminder does make me hesitate. I know there's nothing sexual about it, but I'd be standing without clothes on as she as she alone looked at me, analyzing my whole body. Wow, this is reminding me of Nagatoro-san. I can't wait for that manga to finish. One, because I'm 20 at the end of the month, and it'd be weird for a 20-year-old to be reading that manga. But I started reading it when I was like 17, so Elle herself doesn't look fussed, though she really rarely does. She seems content to let me come to a conclusion myself as she stands about, but my body language soon gives away what I'm thinking. Sorry if I made you uncomfortable. I could just work on the other studies instead. No, I mean, she did mention herself that she's done this before. It'd simply be another method of practicing painting for her. Would it be in your apartment or something?
Yeah.
She looks mildly surprised. I'm still considering this. She looks mildly surprised. I'm still considering this. If it was anyone else, I don't think I could do this. For Elle, though.
Okay.
It's fine. I'll do it. Let's go. Get out of the way. Oh my god, I was just about to talk about the rabbit on the couch, you bitch. We set down our coats as we enter her apartment, the bright light giving such a different look to her living room compared to mine. As for Elle herself, I don't get how she isn't exhausted at all after a walk like that from school. But try as I might to distract myself, something feels off no matter how I try to ignore it. Painting live models is probably totally normal for an artist like Elle, so I don't bother saying anything as she sets down her coat. Want a drink or something? I'm fine, thanks.
Sure.
So yourself, I'll grab my stuff. Just make yourself comfortable. Yeah! She walks off to get her easel and paints as I nod. Me like, there. Alright. Without much else to do as she disappears into another room, I idly look around while taking off my coat and gloves. Her apartment hasn't been cleaned up this time, which is an interesting change. Beyond the easel with a finished painting still sitting on it. Oh, that's what these are called? Easels? That's a fun fact. A few colorful fashion magazines lie on the coffee table near a mug left sitting around. On the couch, a couple of crumpled t-shirts and an old pair of jeans lie strewn over the back and arm. What catches my eye most, however, is the resident who looks very comfortable on the other end. Without thinking, I walk over and pick him up. Particularly a large stuffed rabbit, big enough to need 2 hands to hold comfortably. Though well-made and adorably designed, it's obviously a little well-loved by now. What do you mean by that? I'm sure I'd have noticed such a thing if it were around when Wallace and I came for dinner, so it must have been stuffed into her bedroom or something. Noticing movement out of the corner of my eye, I turn back and look up. Elle simply stares at me, face flat as she holds the bag of supplies in her hand. I really shouldn't have just gone and started fiddling with her stuff.
Sorry.
It's really cute. She puts her bag down and sighs, giving me a bit of relief that she isn't angry. Silently, she strides over and takes the toy from me as I offer it to her. My sister gave it to me to keep me company when I moved out. I'm disappointed by how little emotions in Elle's voice when she says so. But those thoughts are quickly disappear. Those thoughts quickly disappear as she gently sets down the rabbit. where it had been. This is good practice, you know what I'm saying? Get my mouth ready, you know, to read words properly. She takes care to set it down gently, with quick brush off of its fur. The momentary smile as she steps back and looks at it, it warms my heart. It only lasts a few seconds, but her face is unmistakably that of a child, one taking care of her little companion. So Elle does have a cute side to her. I somehow feel a bit less wound up about everything now. She's not that different to me in the end. Bro, these weird ass commas, what the fuck? As she turns away, I remember the task at hand. So, I'll just set up the easel and canvas, then I'll have everything ready.
Should I take my clothes off then?
Alright, chat, get your cameras. No, I'm joking. Let me stop. This is weird. I'm being weird. Fuck, I did not read that. She's about to answer before pausing for a moment. Much as I might try to stifle my awkwardness, undressing in front of someone else is still weird.
If it's a problem, you can grab a towel. I can make do.
Feeling more than a little sheepish, I glance around to be more sure of my surroundings. The blinds are shut as they were before, and the doors are still locked, so I'm not sure what I expected. Maybe the silence is putting me off. The apartment being set so far back the road, unlike mine. I want to say that I'm fine, but I can't quite get over the stumbling block of being bared in front of someone, meaning halfway will have to do for now. As Elle sets her previous painting on the kitchen counter, I pop into the bathroom. My heart's practically... Whoa, this song is... You hear this OST? Let me continue moving. My mouth is... I reappear in the room with a towel wrapped around me. Precious little being covered as I take my place before her.
Should I stand like this?
Can you move the camera up? Damn! She looks at me for a few moments in serious thought. It's a little interesting how quickly her demeanor changes to that of a painter, carefully considering how best to use my body as an artistic prop.
Try turning around so your back's towards me.
My thoughts are in a haze, unable to let go of how exposed I am. All I can do is nod and dutifully do as she says.
Yeah, that's good. Keep your head like that and maybe let your arms hang down. Like this? Yeah.
Bro, y'all hear y'all hear this OST? I need to get my hands on the OST, bro. There's so many fucking gems in this game. I give a nod, trying to relax as much as I can. The painter. Butterflies. Alright, I'll remember. I give a nod, trying to relax as much as I can. That isn't saying much, though. There's no other sound in the room as she starts sketching me out, the pencil's sharp scratching filling the air. It's certainly an odd experience to think somebody's looking at my body so analytically. Wow. Taking in every detail, considering it, and copying it to the canvas. For Elle's sake, I try to keep as still as possible despite the butterflies in my stomach. Her pencil work apparently finished. The gentle sound of brushstrokes starts... Sorry, the music. Painting begins in earnest. She's fast at her sketching. I suppose she'd have a good bit of practice at this. I can't see much at all with my head slightly down like this, but at least this position is easy to keep. Without anything in particular to focus my eyes on, I can't help but turn my thoughts inward. How do people do this without getting self-conscious? Nobody's ever looked at my naked body like this, carefully analyzing every curve and muscle. I wonder how I look to her right now. Am I gross? Compared to Elle, I probably look plain at best.
Hey, I know it's not easy, but can you try not to tense up so much?
I glance back at Elle. Our eyes meet, and I force myself to face her forward again, resuming my pose. Go, man.
It's okay. Not too much longer.
Her expression was so focused and analytical, I forget that serious artwork can take so much knowledge and logic, as well as creativity. I really am just an art prop for her. That's good. If I remember that, this isn't so bad. Elle's done this plenty of times, and I can trust her. I was the one who offered anyway. The reason I did this was to help her, and now I can finally be a part of her true passion of painting. I feel the corners of my mouth tug a little at the idea. It makes me feel a little special that she's looking at me this way. While she's no doubt done live drawing before, this is something different. Only now do I realize Elle's brushstrokes have ceased. Just as I work up the will to question her, Elle speaks up.
Alright, you can move now.
A weight comes off my entire body, and as my entire body swims, a long breath escaping my lips. It feels like my entire body deflates. Thankful that my duty has been fulfilled, I adjust the towel a little to ensure it doesn't slip off. My first thought is to go to where I've carefully placed my clothes, but on the way I'm distracted by the sight of it. I'm left speechless. The way the piano came in, that timing. Oh my god, that timing. I have to resist the urge to reach out and touch it. This is how Elle sees me. This is how Elle sees me. Not gross, nor plain. I feel my heart sting a little as my eyes move across the canvas, seeing through Elle's eyes how she sees me. As I stand gazing at the painting, I feel a coat come over me, Elle draping it over my shoulders. I'm about to thank her before the words are stolen from my mouth by her different demeanor. Compared to her intense focus while painting, her gaze awkwardly avoids my appreciative expression. All I can do is smile as I clasp the coat tight. Fuck. The bashful Elle is standing in silence beside me.
It's beautiful.
Oh my god. Oh, that was spicy, bro. I like that. There's oh my god. Oh my goodness. All right. The street lights lead us along as we walk along the snow-dusted street. They're pinpricks of light piercing the evening's darkness. Yep. The two of us walk side by side without a word, the only sound being snow crunching underfoot. Far from the silence feeling oppressive, I'm rather glad that we don't need to fill the air with idle conversation. With our classes finished, I offered to repay her for the dinner she'd made for me. Hardly one to turn down a free meal. She readily accepted. It's not like that excuse it's not like that excuse to bring her over was a lie as such, or at least that's what I tell myself. In truth, I want to be closer to Elle. As I throw furtive glances to her, I muse about how times we're together feel different to when I'm with others. Her earnest yet clumsy attempts to help me feeling wow. I'm not sure, but I don't think these feelings are just friendship anymore. Yeah, we been new. You're lucky you live so close to school. I still have no idea how you can hike all the way to your place every single day and not be exhausted. That's what happens when you don't wimp out of walking. Being fit has its advantages. On jaw. Whoopsies. While I stop myself from imagining how fit Elle's body is, I'm reminded that she's seen my own body. I cringe in embarrassment as I remember modeling for her the other day, trying to shake off the feeling before she notices. Eventually, we reach the now familiar apartment building, the two of us stopping a moment. I'm a little surprised at how quickly I came to think of this place as home. The ill-maintained building feeling so foreboding at first. Everything here is so different to home, right down to the streetlights we stand under. Gone were the modern white lights of downtown and the suburbs, replaced by dull orange lamps which occasionally flickered. Well, here it is. I'm more than a little nervous about what she thinks of this new home after bringing her all the way here. Rather than judging me for it, she looks more to be carefully studying it. My nervous attempts to read her stoic gaze get me nowhere. Looks nice. So what's your roommate like anyway? No sooner do the words leave her mouth than she jumps from and hand latching tightly onto her shoulder. I didn't even notice her in the darkness. She must have been smoking a cig outside.
Hey!
Yo. Okay. Tight shit. As we sit at the dinner table, Elle's gaze is... Wow, I can't read. Hold on a second. Elle's gaze has trouble staying on us. I know those eyes well. They're those of a tourist, taking in everything around them while desperately trying to engrave it in memory. Or perhaps in order to judge my living conditions. I have to admit, this must look a bit shabby compared to her home. She surely worked out that I'm not exactly well off from the area already though. Damn, bitch, you live like this? Compared to Elle's apartment, ours is full with artifacts of life. A couple stuffed animals, some movie posters and DVDs around the place. An aging console where? Next to the television and various bits and bobs accumulated through the years of litter the room. Elle's eyes pass over it all, but she stays unusually subdued. Perhaps the reason isn't the room itself, but the person sitting across from her.
Huh?
So this is where you live, huh? So you live like these? Sorry if it's a bit cold. The heating's having problems. You mean having problems as usual? There goes trying to put on a front. I know it doesn't look great on the outside, but we try to keep the place nice to live in. Fixing leaks, giving the place a lick of paint, patching holes, and all that. Gets Allison a crash course in handiwork too. It isn't much, but it's home. That's gotta count for something, right? It does. You've done a good job on making this place homely. You never told me you were good at science and math, Allison. No wonder it seems... She did, though. What do you mean? She gestures towards the trophy on the side table and certificate on the wall above, being awards from competitions I won in high school.
Huh?
You never asked.
Allison!
What, seriously, Allison? Come on. I earned a playful clip over the head, Elle snorting in amusement. She was good enough to get a science scholarship thanks to that brain of hers. Never having been great at knowing how to respond to praise, I just hang my head. It feels a little embarrassing to be complimented in front of Elle. I hate being complimented. Motherfucker, don't compliment me. Just say nothing, bro. I'm gonna keep it a buck. Makes sense. She's got me out of a jam a few times now. She's a handy person to have around. I feel myself flower into a blush at the words, sinking lower into my chair as my face feels hot. I'm surprised how nice it feels, despite being so awkward. A smile spreads on my face as my legs sway beneath the table with unexpected energy. It feels different when it comes from Elle.
Thanks.
Damn, bitch, you tall. Thanks for the food, by the way.
Yeah.
It's nothing. Nice to finally meet someone from Allison's side of the fence for a change. Actually, I was starting to get worried that she didn't have any friends. I can only bring my hand to my face as Elle raises an eyebrow and pointed in interest. I do wish Rose wouldn't make such a big deal out of my being shy. Really? Not exactly the outgoing type, I guess. I'm shocked. She takes a large sip of soda before soda before continuing on. Okay, I'm not being dumb. There's a few of us in here, her little circle now. No thanks to her dragging me into the club.
Eileen!
You agreed to come. It's a Caprice's club anyway. Oh, so now you have nothing to do with it. This is a new story. All I can do is grimace as Elle lifts an eyebrow, getting the rise out of me that she wanted. She softens the blow a little with a small nudge from her shoulder, earning a smile from Rose. Elle gives a mighty yawn, poorly hidden by a hand over her mouth. I don't think I've seen her bother trying to hide one before. Sorry. Tired? I'm always tired. Okay, fucking alpha wolf head ass. What's with the bags under your eyes anyway? Rough night? Insomnia? It's fun stuff. Hero was trying to be tactful and not bringing that up. And Rose just kicks down the door as usual. That does give some context to Elle's short fuse, though I don't jump to conclusions. Get the fuck out of my face. Well, they said good. They say good. Wholesome food can fix that. Sorry. Hopefully this will pick you up a bit. Nothing says homemade like burgers and fries after all. As the two talk, I quietly begin on my food. I hadn't realized how empty I was, the fries disappearing into my mouth at a quick pace. Thank goodness for having a good metabolism. Someone's hungry. I look up quizzically at her, drawing a raised eyebrow. It's only now I realize my cheeks are as full as a chipmunk's. Good to see you two get along well. Rose takes a hold of my shoulder and gives a playful shake, my head bobbing to and fro as I try to avoid choking on the fries on its way down. Allison's fine, quiet as a mouse, and manages to put up with my crap. Considering how much she takes care of the chores and errands, I can't really complain. You mean considering how nice of a person I am, right? That too. Three of us munch away on our food. The quiet sound of cars outside and prattling from the television providing that little noise, what little noise there is to be heard. It seems Ella's starting to settle, which is a relief. It took me a while myself when I first met Rose. Surprised you two can keep your figures eating this kind of stuff. You don't have it often, do you? Rose and I share a quick glance. No, not at all. Not often, just special events. There we go, falling at a foul of Elle's judgment. Should just get a rice cooker. Buy rice in bulk, grab some veggies, vegetable package, throw them together. Easy, cheap, healthier than takeout. I have to admit, it was nice when I dated a guy who could cook.
Huh?
Having her around doesn't make things too awkward when you bring guys over. You learn to be quiet. I guess you would. I don't understand. I genuinely did not understand what that whole... I don't want to hear about this. If you didn't know already, that means I've been doing a good job. Rose's comment only causes my... Oh! I can feel myself blushing just from the topic of the conversation, which just embarrasses me more. Besides, if you ever get a boyfriend, you're going to have to learn to, if you want to bring him around here. I won't be doing anything like that. Rose laughs and even Elle looks amused. I sulk, hating that the attention has been centered on me now. I especially don't want this kind of conversation around Elle. Thankfully, Rose seems content with her teasing. So what's your story? You're a friend of Allison's, right? Turned out that way. Just another student at the community college, majoring in art. The artsy type, huh? Going for the big bucks then? Thanks. I'm sure you'll find something. Hopefully not involving burgers and fries. Elle's limits are clearly being tested, being less tolerant of being poked at than I. Hopefully Rose realizes it. Seem like the artsy type yourself. What's with all the ink? Elle motions to Rose's left side while brandishing a french fry, the tattoo on her upper arm only made more noticeable by her tank top. Looks cool.
Seriously?
Uh-huh. Expected it to be my life story or something? That was my first...
Yeah.
Wait, no, forget what I said. I'm in the Yakuza, and they gave me these as my initiation. Nothing says Yakuza like a biker in the middle of America. As Rose's chest heaves with light-hearted laughter, I find myself smiling as well. I'm glad these two get along. Though a little part of me wishes I could be like Elle. Took me months to warm up to Rose. Yeah, Elle gets on with others so smoothly. Standing out in front of the apartment once more, we say our goodbyes, for real this time. Even if she pointedly refused Rose's later offer of transport, at least she'll be going home on a full stomach. It's an odd atmosphere. It's time to say our goodbyes, especially given the nice chill having set in. But neither of us quite want to say the words.
When you said you had a roommate, that's the last kind of person I expected you to be shacked up with.
Talking
Rose is
shit?
nice. Once you get to know her, she's a family friend. So I guess you could say I got this apartment through connections.
I was not really wrong, though. Ever since starting community college, I've gone from having a couple of very alike friends at high school to an increasing menagerie of odd characters. The way Elle looks as she gazes at the building catches me off guard. It's hardly the comfortable existence she seems to have. Rose and I pretty much eking out a living with what scraps we get. Yet she looks so wistful.
You really have a nice thing going, don't you?
Yeah, I guess so. If you ever want to visit again, you're definitely welcome.
She gives an amused snort and smile.
I'll have to take you up on that sometime.
Moments tick by as two of us stand out on the sidewalk, neither quite knowing what to say next. I want her to stay around some more to talk to, but I know it's already getting late. Idly thinking over our dinner together for something to talk with her about, one particular part of the conversation keeps sticking out, replaying it in my head. I can feel my face going red before I can cover it with my hands.
What's wrong?
I can't believe Rose was talking about that kind of stuff, even though you just met her. Sorry about that.
That's all right. I'm the one who brought it up.
That's right. You're just as bad.
I give her shoulder a firm tap, immediately feeling conscious of the gesture. I pull away from her and look elsewhere, fuming away in my embarrassment. Elle rocks back and forth between her heels and the ball of her feet to pass the time while I recover, hands not quite knowing what to do. Eventually, thankfully, Elle breaks the silence between us.
Thanks for inviting me here. I'm glad to have been over tonight.
Why?
Y'all hear this OST, bro?
To be honest,
Sorry.
I had you pegged as some spoiled little delicate flower when I first met you. You know, the kind who coasts along on their parents' attention before the real world punches them in the face. It looks like you have your life pretty sorted, though. You've got a good head on your shoulders, friends, and a cool roommate. You've managed to scratch together a pretty decent life for yourself.
She just gives a long breath, rocking back and forth on her feet as she tries to put some words together. I want to thank her for the kind words, but I'm left speechless after. I'm left speechless after such a warm-hearted appraisal of my current world.
I don't really know what to say now. I guess I feel a bit dumb for lecturing you so much.
It's fine, really.
My frantic brushing off of the idea puts the both of us on the back foot, smiling with with that wonderful, rare smile of hers. She seems to accept the situation. Before I could say anything more, the blonde girl turns to begin the long walk back home. Without looking back, Elle simply raises her hand into the air as she strolls off down the road. She's as confident as ever. Things just happened around me, and I worked problems out as they occurred. Is that really worth respect? It feels strange to have someone I admired to turn that right back on me. I feel my heart sting as her figure gets smaller in the dark night sky. But there's nothing I can say or do. Just watch her go. A cold night's breeze wafts past the balcony, my thin jacket doing little to stop it. The only noise to be heard is the odd car rushing down the street through the darkness, or snippets of muffled music from neighboring apartments. Moments like this are nice, circumstances aside. Just being able to be alone with my thoughts, without the distraction of others. That said, I already have my answer to what had been on my mind. That was the real point of this dinner, after all. When I modeled for her, I wanted to be a part of something that was important to Elle. Even before then, I wonder if the times I tried to get closer weren't out of friendship alone. What I felt as I watched Elle walk away with was all the confirmation of my feelings I needed. A dark figure suddenly appears, taking no heed of my surprise as it leans against the balcony beside me. As I compose myself once more, the familiar acrid smell, acrid? Passing my nose tips me off before my eyes do.
Don't scare me like that!
Hey, I called out. Not my fault you were daydreaming.
Her mention of it brings all my worries, flooding right back. Hardly wanting to look at Rose while thinking about all this, I turn back and try to ignore her as best as I can. Rose mentioned how I should think about finding a partner sometime while in college. My parents too, and even my high school friends before I came. I was content to focus on school and keep such complications out of mind until my life was all set up and ready. College has already set me right on that account. Life doesn't go on hold until you're ready to face it. Rose simply blows a puff of smoke, a thin stream passing her lips and disappearing into the night sky. I try to keep my mouth shut, but the smell proves too much for me as I bring my hand to my face.
That's terrible.
You're the one who banishes me here, remember?
I hate to admit it, but she does have a point. Rose stubbornly makes a point of taking a puff of her cigarette, but soon notices that something is amiss.
Come on, out with it. What's on your mind?
It'd be easy to waver enough to wave her off. One of the things I like about Rose is that she knows when to step back, and this is the kind of thing plenty of people keep private. But somehow, even if I haven't told Elle how I felt, I kind of want someone else to know.
I think I like someone.
I watch her reaction with the best attempt I can muster at casual interest. I'm surprised by how unsurprised Rose is. After a tortuously long time, she finishes her puff of the cigarette and takes it from her mouth.
You had the look of someone with that on the mind. It's that Eileen girl, right?
My mind blanks. She picked that up herself? She isn't taken off guard by my liking a girl. I hate. Ooh, stop using this word for as a way. Just be by me liking a girl. It's just say me. Don't say my liking a girl at all. Oh my god. Also, I want these type of earrings right here. I like those ones. I've been seeing them a lot in Full Metal Alchemist. Or I see them with like Winry, I'm like, yeah, them shits is fire. Them shits is clean. I just don't know if I'm ready to go back to like feeling the annoyance of hurting ears for a while. The knot of anxiety I hadn't even noticed forming inside of me suddenly twists and turns. The expected spluttering explanation suddenly not needed. I psych myself up so much, only for it to go nowhere. The silence between us continues as Rose patiently waits for me to respond. It's just, what's supposed to come after saying that?
I didn't think you knew. About Eileen, or, you know.
Well, I mean, kinda hard to ignore what's in front of your face, you know. Seeing you two together, it all clicked.
You don't think I'm weird?
Apparently, feeling a little more sure of what to say, she gives a disarming smile.
Believe me, I'm not in any position to call someone weird.
Yeah.
Hey, that's not what you're supposed to say.
She elbows me in response to my mostly unintentional bite back. With the situation diffused, I manage to calm down a little. Just saying I like her makes my thoughts feel all the more real. My heart skipping a beat as I repeat the words in my mind. Rose thinks to herself a little before snuffing out her cigarette on the ashtray and looking at me squarely.
Sorry, I shouldn't be so flippant when you're all worked up. I get that coming out can be hard. For what it's worth, I really appreciate that you trust me so much.
The warm smile on her face proves infectious, all tension from the air fading away. I hardly mind, now that I've managed to unwind a little. I get the feeling she's stumbling through this herself. Minutes go by with only the passing of cars beneath us for noise, both of us savoring the peacefulness of the winter's night. At loose ends, I lean against the balcony railing and finally break the silence.
What should I do?
I don't think that's something I can decide for you. Just remember that you're still young.
So you don't think it'll work out?
I'm not saying that. Just take it easy, alright? Relationships are a pain in the ass.
This isn't what I hoped Rose would say at all, but that doesn't mean she's wrong.
I thought love was supposed to feel all happy and warm. But I feel more nervous than anything else.
Womp womp.
Welcome to relationships. Falling for someone is easy. It's what comes next that's hard.
Her disarming smile at least puts me a little more at ease. I'm glad I have Rose here for me, in many ways. In many ways, I feel like we can't relate to each other, but we can still have this kind of conversation and understand each other. We're just two girls talking about love.
You're a good girl, Allison. I promise that whatever happens, you can call on me. Okay?
Thanks.
But, you know, if things do work out, you're still gonna have to learn how to be quiet for my sake if you bring her around.
Rose!
It's getting spicy. I'll hold it. While I had my doubts, the city workers managed to get the Christmas tree in the city's main square finished, just on schedule for the first day of December. Its oversized tinsel and baubles gleam happily in the morning's light, proudly announcing the coming holidays. Rose takes my pause in the middle of the city square as an excuse for a break, setting down her bags down as I look up to the huge tree before us. It's not the tree that's most interesting, so much as the crowd around us. Everyone walks to and fro just a little faster than normal walking speed, hurrying from shop to shop while hardly even glancing at the Christmas tree looming over everything. I think I read something once about feeling alone, even in a crowd. So many faces pass by, from couples holding hands to businessmen to groups of friends. Yeah, I feel more disconnected than when I'm actually alone. The clicking of a lighter next to me reminds me of my companion, the cigarette now perched on the corner of her mouth, glowing brightly. Shame we couldn't park closer. Downtown's pretty crazy these days, isn't it? Maybe we should put up our own Christmas tree. Hey, I got a tree for us a few days ago. I was the one who bought that. It's also like a foot tall.
Oh, yeah.
The cigarette perched in her mouth tilts downward as she looks at me, her smile turning just a little less cheerful. Missing holidays at home, are you? A bit. She climbs onto my shoulder, gives me a firm shake. Hang in there. I might not be much company, but at least you've gotten someone around. Were you homesick when you first moved out from home?
No.
Given the circumstances? Nah. I don't think you appreciate how lucky you are sometimes. Wandered straight onto the... Bro, I gotta pee. Hold on. 1 second. Let me save before I forget to. Alright. Wander straight onto that one landmine. Rose has never talked about her immediate family in the few months I've known her, so maybe I should have taken the hint. Noticing the gazes of the few around us have turned upward, I look up curiously. Looks like the weather's turned the morning chill turning to snow. Piss off, winter. I love winter, bro. I wish I was playing this game during winter instead of fucking June in the middle of summer, but whatever. With a dissatisfied puff, she puts out her cigarette on a nearby bin lid before flicking it in with a practiced motion. Taking our bags up once more, we continue the slog back to the bike. Chin up, eh? I was gonna say this later, but I bought your favorite while you weren't looking. Strawberry trifle?
Uh-huh.
The fuck is that? You know it. Just thanks for pulling your weight a bit more. It's nice to see you getting yourself together. Just as I'm about to thank her, a loud ping comes from my pocket. A little sheepish, I take my phone from my pocket to check what the message is. Confused behind you. Confused, I stop, walking and turning about. Elle holds her hand high as she slowly walks up the street, slipping her phone into her pocket as she arrives. I'm happy to see her, but something makes me hesitate. Something Rose picks up on, going by her churlish grin. I know full well I've fallen for Elle. My stomach tying itself into knots at the sight of her makes me realize that asking her out will have to come sooner rather than later. If she's even interested in girls, that is. Trying to put my worries out of mind as best as I can, I do my best to act normal. Sure been getting some... Oh my god, no, I just remembered. I just remembered one time I was talking with my coworkers about girls and shit, and he was like, oh yeah, the one time I confessed to a girl, or asked a girl out, she said she was lesbian. And I was dying, bro. I was like, damn. Alright, where are we? You sure been getting some use out of that phone.
Morning.
Starting to see the appeal of these things. Yeah, morning, Rose.
Hey.
Sup? Just out for a walk. The apartment gets stifling after a while. Not interrupting anything, am I? When she puts it like that, she sounds far older than she should. In fact, given she didn't own a smartphone, like simple walks alone, and spends her days painting, I'm starting to doubt the girl I fell for is really my own age. As the two strike up a casual chat, I remember how Elle and I came to meet, being pushed into the club, taking a chance after chance to come closer to her in hopes of spending more time together. It's only that persistence which gained me her friendship. My heart begins to beat as I talk myself into the plan forming in my head. Pushing myself got me this far. Perhaps if I could take it one more step. Hey Rose, can I leave these with you? She hesitates at the change of plans, the words blurted out before I can stop myself.
Sure.
Sure. I'll see you later. If you need a pickup, just call. Before I can so much as thank her, Rose quickly starts the work of strapping the shopping bags to her bike. It'll probably be easier to get everything home without me on the back anyway. Elle and I give her our goodbyes to her as we walk on. Rose waving us off. As we go, I think I see a small grin on her face. I guess she worked it out. Once again, we're alone with each other. My stomach twists and turns as I desperately try to find some small talk to fill the air with. Not that Elle looks fussed about it at all. Buried in thought, I barely register us moving through the old rot iron gates into the city park. The water in the pond lies nearly still, the ducks lazily bobbing about. Bro, I don't understand it. Like, how is it snow? How is there this much pile up, but like, it's not cold enough to the point where the lake freezes over? And why the fuck are there ducks on there? It's what? This season makes no sense to me, bro. The normally rustling branches of the trees stay silent as they gather falling snow, green slowly turning to white. With everybody in town busy shopping, all that's to be heard as we walk along the wide paths are our footsteps on freshly fallen snow. You come here much? Yep, I said that right. Yeah, every so often. Nice to just think to myself a bit while being cooped up. Or without being cooped up. You? Only when I was younger. I like to feed bread to the ducks. I feel like I should have guessed that answer from you. All I can do is pout as she gives a smug smile at my expense. Even as we walk through the otherwise empty park, I could feel my eyes lingering on her. That difference between us is probably what drew me to her. Now that I think about it, I've never felt like this towards anyone else before. I know the feelings are genuine as I gaze at her. If she spends Christmas with her family, I won't get to see Elle again until classes start in the new year. Telling her what I feel might ruin everything, but I don't want this to linger like a hanging thread. If she can push herself towards her goals, then so can I. As I come to a stop, the ceasing of my footsteps on the crushed snow makes Elle turn towards me. Damn, this is pissing me off. As her eyes falls to mine, my heart begins to race. I'm instantly filled with doubts, but now it's too late. I've psyched myself up so much that it's surely showing. All my life, others have helped push me forwards. Now I have to do something for myself. Elle taught me how I have to do that.
Eileen, I wanted to tell you something.
Oh my god! It's happening! With my voice shaking and my hand clutching my other arm tightly out of nervousness, I take a long breath to clear my mind and sort out the words in my head. I ball my fists as I feel my hands shaking.
After spending my whole life with such a big family, this was the first time I've ever tried to live by myself. I was really lonely at first, and didn't really know what was going on. But recently, I realized that loneliness hasn't been around. I've met so many wonderful people, and had so many nice experiences. Now, I'm looking forward to every day, and what fun things might happen. A lot of that is thanks to you. So, I wanted to thank you for helping me.
This isn't exactly poetry so far, but I think I'm getting my feelings across right. Elle simply looks at me, accepting the praise with only a touch of confusion.
Well, thanks. It's nice to be appreciated like that.
It's more than that, though. I mean, I first thought it was just friendship, but...
Why can't I be more confident than this? My throat feels like it's closing as my nerves get the better of me. It only gets worse the more I try to speak. I'm so busy reading Elle's expression that I lose track of what I'm saying. I try to desperately to force something out, but no words come to me. Looking at her face, though, I don't think the rest needs to be said. We just look at each other silently, the winter snow falling between us. She looks gentle, somehow. Stepping forward, she looks down at my blushing face. From here I can see the faint red in her cheeks clearly. I can't think of anything else, just that gentle, calm face that I've never seen her wear before. After a moment's hesitation, Elle brings her hands forward, grasping my shoulders delicately. Let's go! Ah! Ah! Yo! And then as she leans down, everything stops. I reflexively gasp in surprise as her soft lips press gently to mine. But it ends up stifled. With my body utterly frozen, I find myself completely in the grasp of the girl holding me, her breath tingling against my face. I have the biggest fucking grin on my face right now. The sounds, the smells, everything beyond Elle and I falls from my consciousness. All that's left is this wonderful warm feeling flowing through my entire body. Minutes, seconds, I have no idea how much time passes. I just know I don't want it to stop. Eventually, sadly, Elle's lips part from mine. Straightening herself as she steps back, Elle takes a long, shuddering breath as I stare dumbstruck at her wildly blushing face. The feeling of Elle's lips pressed to mine replays endlessly in my confused mind, clouding everything else.
Eileen, you...
The air between us falls quiet. Elle left waiting for a reply as I stand in a silent daze. Simple shock is one part of it, but far from all. Elle is not only interested in women, but also in me. I feel like my heart could burst from the relief. It's only now that I see her fidgeting, playing with her hair and unable to quite stand still. This looked like a period. I'm sorry. I wonder how long that's been going on, unnoticed. It makes me realize she's an Overcoming with my own flood of emotions and confusion is Elle who ends up having to reluctantly move things forward.
Sure hope I didn't misinterpret that.
Her attempt to play off her nervousness is betrayed by her blushing. I finally realized just why she's so uncomfortable right now. She's left herself vulnerable. It's the first time I've ever seen her exposed like this. Her feelings plain to see.
I didn't know you felt that way.
I entertained the idea, I guess. Didn't ever think you'd be the one to make the first move.
So you'll go out with me?
No, I just kissed you for the sake of it. Of course I will, you dolt.
Let's go! Ah! Ah!
Guess we're in this thing together now, huh?
For all she tries to play things cool, it's obvious Elle's as awkward about this as I am. The only reply I can muster, and perhaps the only one needed, is to smile. Please, end the game here. Motherfucker. A loud yawn fills the living room, the droning of the television briefly overshadowed. The scene couldn't be more normal. Rose lounging about on the couch, watching the morning news, the sounds of traffic outside leading off to work, and me stumbling around pulling on the last of my clothes as the morning's lessons loom. One thing is different now, though. Just thinking about what happened last night makes my heart race, but I have no idea what's supposed to happen after something like that. What happens when I see Elle again? How close am I meant to be with her, now that we're going out? Then there's the kiss itself, playing over and over in my mind. The feeling of her soft lips on mine, the way she looks so flustered afterwards.
Oh!
Youch! A sharp pain from my shin brings me back into the real world, bending down to rub my poor leg, revealing the cause to be walking into a chair. The feeling of embarrassment isn't helped by Rose looking over in concern.
You right?
It's nothing, just bummed my leg. Not sick or something, are you? You're even more clumsy than usual today. I'm fine, just didn't sleep much last night. It's times like this that normally being a morning person doesn't pay off. I shrug off her concern as best as I can, distracting myself by throwing on my clothes to prepare for the chill outside. Just take it easy, alright? The ice is bad enough out there already.
Okay.
I will. The walk down the road towards campus does me good, giving me time for my mind to settle and get back to the daily routine. Not everything is quite the same, though. My footsteps feel light, and what's typically an arduous walk feels unusually easy. I'm not quite dancing in the streets, but the day feels just a little brighter than usual. It's nice. Snowfall's been getting heavier, and that it's December, I pass a few people standing outside buildings while looking mournfully at their roofs, plotting how to dislodge the snow piled on top. The traffic's also slowed to a crawl, rolling by carefully. As for Christmas, sales on television are into full swing by now, which reminds me that I should get my shopping done when I have some free time. Whoopsies. I think I can scrape together enough money to buy a little something for everyone in my family. And then there's Christmas cards for my new friends here, not to mention organizing a trip home for the break. Christmas is meant to be relaxing, but it feels like there's so much to organize for it. Coming up to the campus, I try to focus my thoughts back onto school for the time being. Thankfully, the paths here are better cleared, if nothing else. As students file up in past the gate, my heart skips a beat. Wow, I'm killing. As I recognize a particular blonde girl, she looks back and notices me as I skipped up to meet her. Her usual tired expression unwavering. I've never met someone so far from a morning person.
Hi.
Allison.
With that, the both of us begin to walk in side by side. All thoughts of schoolwork leave my mind as I try to stop myself glancing at Elle, furtively trying to work out exactly how I'm supposed to act around her. Alright, hold on. Sorry about that. They came to inspect. I thought it was for cockroaches. Apparently it was just a maintenance one, and we are probably gonna catch a fine or some bullshit because we did some bullshit to our house. Because one of the closets broke, so we had to fix it. Love to see it. Anyway, first, save. Then, let's continue. Furtively trying to work out exactly how I'm expected to act around her. The part where we admit we're interested in each other is also where most of the... Hold on, let me go let my dog out. I'm barking. That's getting cut from the video. You do all that barking and then you end up hiding under me, you little shit? Oh my god. Go on to bed. Stop hiding. You're supposed to be a guard dog. You literally have killed squirrels before. Whatever. The part where we admit we're interested in each other is also where most of the romance movies I've seen end, and I've never gone out with anyone before. Then there's the fact that neither of us has said a word to the other beyond a quick greeting. I try to comfort myself with the thought that it's probably the same for Elle, too. It's always like these fucking... It's always so hard to read her poker face. Good grief. It's cold today. She's not thinking at all about yesterday, is she? With a long breath, it feels like all my restlessness leaves me. Elle's relaxed attitude makes me feel embarrassed for getting so worked up after seeing her again. How are you so confident about this? You know, with us going out and everything. I'm just really good at faking it. Hanging my head, I give up on ever trying to read her. The grin Elle gives makes me feel better about today in an instant. Her normally cold demeanor is just for a moment. If just for a moment is pierced by that sincere smile that peeks through. A smile which soon evaporates, collapsing into something else entirely. Something wrong? I just remembered something troublesome. Caprice. I almost ask why before the obvious hits me, with my thoughts moving beyond the girl at my side. The implications of all this become clear. Should we just tell her? I'd rather not. You know Caprice as well as I do. I don't want her to make a fuss about us getting together. Then again, she'll probably work it out herself. She's not dumb. She knows to pay attention if I'm serious. Besides, is there really that much harm in letting her be happy for us? My serious tone in defense of Caprice seems to catch Elle off guard. Catches me a little off guard too.
Okay, fine.
Fine. If you're going to tell her, then I want to be there too. Discussion comes to an end. Yeah, I find myself not wanting to leave despite having nothing further to say in particular. It seems Elle has the same problem as she awkwardly mills about, the chatting students passing around us as only making the silence between us even more pointed. Would it be okay to kiss her here and now? Yesterday in the park, we did it without thinking. Elle's always so awkward about physical affection that I'm not so sure she'd like it, especially in public. What I'm thinking must have been plain to see as Elle reaches down, placing her hand on top of my head and scruffing it around in response. It might be an odd way for her to show her feelings, but I can't say I hate the gesture. I feel my cheeks blushing as her hand rubs my head, enjoying every moment until she stops. Elle's awkwardness around all this makes me feel a little better about my own uncertainty. Everything will work out fine, I'm sure of it. Ever the optimist. We better get to class. See you at the art club, I suppose. She sure doesn't seem to share my optimism as she waves and walks off, nor my like of our new club. I'm sure she'll come around though. I suppose. I'm trying to remember what game that is from, because I know there's a character that uses I suppose a lot. I think it's Dongan. With the afternoon wearing off, I trudge up the familiar route to the second floor of the arts building. Jesus. The sounds of raised voices come from up ahead, easily audible in the otherwise dead silent halls. If I'm not mistaken, they're coming from the art room itself. Steeling myself for what's to come, I sigh and head on up to the door inside. Elle and Caprice have already arrived, as usual, each standing on the opposite side of the table as they fume at each other. Their heads snap towards me in unison. The moment the door rattles open, making my heart skip a beat. Yes. Help me talk some sense into this woman, please. Just relax. As art club president, I have everything under control. Everything except the club part. I mean, I would have thought a club needed things like official paperwork, an advisor, funding for supplies, that haven't been pilfered from the real art classes. Basically, more than an excited proclamation of a club existing. That's why I'm working on the posters. Feeling sorry for the heavily sighing Elle, my eyes drift off to said posters lying on the table between them. From 257, just check the door if it's yep. I walk over and attentively take a look at the one sitting on top. Sharp graphics and color scheme catching the eye. They do look nice.
Thank you.
See, people will love them. I may say that, but it's a little obvious this is out of her comfort zone when it comes to art. Her sketching is always nice, but her work with paint comes off as a little crude. Still trying new things is to be praised.
Praise.
Think about this logically. It's nearly Christmas, all the students are going to be on break soon. Even if they weren't, nobody would be looking for a club to join around now anyways. I wouldn't exactly say that. Caprice is quick on the draw as she leans over and latches onto my shoulder, beaming a smug look of victory at her opponent. I feel like I've been reduced to a useful prop in an argument, but Caprice isn't wrong. Elle looks physically pained as she groans in frustration. She did walk right into that moment. In what could only be interpreted as this universal sign of giving up, she shakes her head and starts to walk away, retreating to the cabinet to grab her things. It looks like posters will be the accomplishment of today as far as the club goes. I suppose it doesn't hurt to try and draw in some more members.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can get them soon too. I wanted to have another club outing, and the more the merrier. And like I declared, we're going to make the pizza place a regular thing for the club.
Sure thing.
I'm up for it. Be quiet. Elle looks drearily at the traitor to her cause, but knows her goose is cooked as she hangs her head. I swear she looks more tired than usual.
Exactly.
Then it's settled. Caprice goes back to fussing over her posters, brushing off some specks of dust that have settled on the paint. Taking advantage of the distraction, I look to Elle. She grimaces as I pointedly flick my eyes back to our companion, plainly hoping to leave this for another day by her reaction. Reluctantly, Elle sets her paints down and plods back over like a child accepting their bitter medicine. In hindsight, perhaps she was trying to use her painting as an excuse to not deal with this. Maz was thirsty. Caprice is one of my few friends, however. I feel bad hiding this from her. Even if we tried to, she'd just poke and poke until one of us eventually spilled the beans.
What's up with you two? Caprice, there's something we need to tell you.
To make this absolutely clear, this does not leave the room. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am!
I'll bet.
Eileen and I have started... I mean, it just happened recently, but...
We're going out.
I feel Elle take my hand in hers. I worry for a second about the sweatiness of my palm, but feeling her hand closing around mine settles my nerves. I never realized how warm someone else's hand could feel. As her fingers tighten, I realize something. Elle's settling herself just as much as me.
Like, dating? So you guys are both...
Yeah.
Ooh.
I guess that Caprice wouldn't go too well. It turns out to be true. Even with her surprise, feeling a little exaggerated for effect.
Well then, aren't you glad you can do art together all the time now?
Look, we don't need any help. Much less help from you.
But... It's alright. I appreciate what you've done. Just don't go too crazy helping things along. Promise!
Sounds like things are lively in here.
Our gazes snap towards the doorway, Wallace strolling in with an expression more bored than in the least bit surprised. Elle's hand lets go of mine, but the warmth remains as I reflexively feel my hand with the other to recount the sensation. I'm glad Elle is a more collected person than I am, calmly playing off the interruption. Just as she's about to greet him, though, Millie sides with his large figure into the room.
Millie, you're here!
You're looking cheerful today. We just finished our own club work, so we thought we'd pop by.
Wallace is in the writing club with Millie. He responds to my surprised look with a shrug, clearly trying to avoid setting off Caprice.
Only for now.
Only until I graduate from this place. I'm not joining this club, no matter how many times you ask.
You make it sound like being here is some horrible fate.
I smile a little at Elle, suddenly finding some pride in the art club, now that someone's spoken against it.
As for what I actually came here for, Haley was wanting us to join her for takeout.
Oh, right! Takeout! Lead the way!
Millie gives us a polite wave goodbye as Caprice skips over to pick up her hoodie on the way out. Fortunately for Caprice, Elle doesn't let her go so
And
easily.
your club.
Today's art club meeting is over. Good work, everyone.
With a thumbs up from Caprice, the two disappear out the door and head off down the hallway. The three of us are left to our own devices after they leave. Yep, I can read. I'm good at it too. While I think Wallace to be a perfectly nice person, I'm still not really sure how to act around him. With Caprice no longer being the center of attention, the familiar self-consciousness I have around strangers flares up once again. Seems I'm not alone in not quite knowing what to say. Wallace and Elle doing a little more than awkwardly mill around. Given that they're good friends, it makes me think something is going on.
I've told her, Wallace. You don't need to keep your mouth shut anymore.
As he lets out a sigh of relief, it finally clicks.
Wait, you knew about Eileen and I?
Eileen, yes. Not you, though. Going by the fact this didn't just become intensely awkward, I'm going to say things worked out?
Elle takes my opposite shoulder and shakes me lightly.
Seems so.
Well, I'm happy for you too. Hope it works out.
Thanks.
Told you I'd find someone who could put up with me.
That's not the kind of thing you should say about yourself. Guess I'll get out of your way then. Just take things easy, okay?
We will.
We give each other our goodbyes before he leaves, his unmistakable large figure slowly disappearing down the orange-lit hallway. Then there were two. That's a fire novel. I forgot what it was called,
Huh?
but it's a good novel. And there's the hard R in there, because one of the characters in that novel is racist. I think that, and then there were none. That's what it's called. Yeah, one of the characters in that novel is racist, so the hard R is in there. I thought you didn't want to tell anyone. Wallace is different. He's known I like girls since we were in high school. He's known I like you for a while now, too. I feel myself blush. The thought that Elle talked to Wallace about me like that makes me smile. So I suppose we better head home too, given the club meet's over. Guess so. It's an obvious invitation for us to leave together, but I find my feet stuck. I know I'll see her again tomorrow, but
Why?
something on your mind? I don't really know how to phrase this, but what happens now? The expression she gives is one of genuine thought rather than judging me for being so lost. It's only now that I wonder if this is actually her first relationship or not. If it is, that makes me my confusion a little more embarrassing. It's up to you as much as it is to me, you know? I guess school has got us for a week, but how about we go for a day on Saturday? Be good to get some use out of the car for once.
Oh!
Yes, that would be good. I mean, yeah, let's do that. I can drive us, so just give a heads up once you've worked something out. As I consider the prospect, I can see a little excitement from Elle at the idea of going on our first date, though I doubt she's realized it herself. As silence settles in the room, I see my chance. Allison? Taking Elle's hand in mine and raising myself to my toes, I close my eyes and let my chin push forward. My heart feels to stop for a fleeting moment, my lips gently pressing to Elle's as our hands intertwine. As our lips part and I come back down, my heart makes up for the lost time. Come to think of it, I guess that's the first time I've ever kissed somebody myself. I have to admit, the physical side of us being together is nice, even if it is awkward. I can't help but feel the sensation lingering despite the moment having passed, filling me with warmth. Even Elle, so normally placid and stoic, looks flushed. The two of us end up standing around like complete dorks, the only sound being the trees rustling outside. I've been waiting to do that since this morning. I swear you're getting bolder by the day. With a gentle smile, Elle reaches over and rubs my hair. Even if I still don't quite know how to react when she does it, I can feel my head leaning into it and a dumb grin spreading on my face. Ear-to-ear smile right now. There's still more? Oh my goodness! This shit just keeps going. It should be done soon, bro. With the day wearing on, I let out a badly hidden yawn as I leave the cafeteria. As I clutch my bag tightly, I clutch my bag tightly as I walk, both from the cold and trying not to take up too much space given all the people milling about. Pardon me. I can't help but eavesdrop on the conversations around me as I walk, the building humming with activity. One conversation from the groups idling about catches my ear, the chatter between some girls about their plans to be with their families again for the holidays. It makes me excited for Christmas all over again. As I push through the heavy door and step outside, wow, W voice crack, I wonder if Elle would be as eager. The fact she doesn't get on with her parents is a worry, but surely they can't be too bad if they're paying for her to live in such a place. Oh, okay, she's not working. She's just okay. That honestly kind of pisses me the fuck off, bro. A sudden vibration from my pocket grabs my attention, my hand instinctively diving in to pluck my phone out. She hasn't admitted it, but I think Elle enjoys playing with her new toy. Hey, I'm in the coffee shop if you want to meet. I quickly text her in agreement and hit send as I step off the stairs, dodging a student I nearly bump into as I do. If only I had an extra set of eyes so I could use this while walking more easily. Heading toward the cafe, I muse on the how normal things still feel. I'm happy for us being together, of course, yet life goes on. She enters my thoughts more and more these days, but schoolwork, chores around home, and the club don't stop. One thing has changed, though. I feel more sure of myself than ever. Knowing what my own feelings are is oddly liberating. The rush of warmth as I step through the door makes my shoulder... Bro, where the fuck is the music? Slump in relief. Thank goodness for the interior heating being cranked right up. It doesn't take long to notice Elle sitting alone at a table with her coat and scarf in her lap, coolly staring at out the window to pass the time. Walking up, I notice not one, but 2 coffees sitting on the table before her.
Hey.
Hi, Elle. Someone else with you? Elle's apathetic expression barely changes as she turns to me, sit before her. I'm a little disappointed, but I know her well enough by now to expect it. She's not the type to show her emotions easily. The second's for you. You've helped me out earlier with drawing life, so I wanted to return the favor. It's fine. You don't need to repay me. So the debt was still lingering on in her mind, huh? Now that she's bought it for me, though, I suppose I can't exactly say no. The coffee proves too hot as I bring it near my mouth, so I settle for blowing on it for a bit. How's your day been? Good. I mean, normal, I guess. I might think everything's still normal, but my nerves around Elle haven't quite settled yet. We have only been together a matter of days. I gingerly take a sip to calm myself before continuing. Physics was good. Kinda basic right now, but I think we're going to get some interesting stuff next year. So what are you doing? Trying to stay awake, mainly? What a day. Caprice? You're getting too good at this. I just awkwardly smile. As I do, my eyes drift to the side after noticing a sharply dressed familiar figure breeze into the cafe and up to the counter. Elle follows my gaze, an eyebrow lifting. Oh, it's that mechanic girl. She's appalling with names. She's Millie. Should I at least remember who fixed your car? Did you want to talk to her or something? You keep looking at her. Well, I don't want to annoy her. She might be busy. I barely know her anyway. Elle looks at me a moment, unimpressed. I used every excuse in the book to not bother Millie, too. Then again, I suppose that's the problem.
Hey, Millie!
I shrink in my seat at Elle's casual calling out across the cafe, taken completely off guard. Millie turns towards the source of her name, giving her usual calm smile upon recognizing us.
See? It's not that hard. This is a good opportunity to know her better.
Millie takes her coffee as the barista slides it across the counter, before strolling over and daintily taking a seat at our table.
Good afternoon, Allison. Eileen.
Afternoon.
Finally, so yes. Any plans for the weekend?
Elle and I exchange a brief glance. Oh my god! What was that voice crack? That was crazy. Elle and I exchange a brief glance, both of us looking forward to plans we made for Saturday, but there's still the day after. Depends on the weather. I was thinking of heading out. Bro, like, don't just like give 3 lines of fucking voice dialogue, you bitch. I was thinking of heading out to the mountains with Wallace. It's not too bad. As Elle takes a long drink of her coffee, the majestic mountain ranges and foothills around the city float to mind. It'd be freezing cold this time of year, but she seems to be made of sturdy stuff. I didn't take her to be the outdoorsy type, though. That sounds nice. Hiking? Elle shakes her head as she sets down her cup. We bought some permits for deer hunting. Deer hunting? As in... murder. Real talk, have y'all eaten deer? I would love to eat deer one day. I hear it smacks. I hear venison is just fire. She stares at me for a moment before looking downward, trying to make sense of the words. It takes an awfully long time for her to formulate a response. Well, we don't pet them. Wallace taught me how to shoot down at a range, and I take a loner whenever we head out.
I see.
So that's what Wallace gets up to outside the writing club. I did wonder about that. It's nice that they've found a way of bonding as friends, but to think of a big, proud deer lying dead in the grass. You do know how meat goes from an animal into a pretty little package on the at the supermarket, don't you? Of course I do. But I wouldn't want to personally involve myself at that level. Is that the point of the big day out for them? I have to admit that I'm a little jealous of how they share this whole little world, but I don't think I could ever be a part of it. Millie reads the room quickly as I take another sip of my coffee.
Allison.
Any plans for yourself, Allison? Nothing so exciting, just shopping for groceries. Sounds like my weekend plans. I'm the only one of my roommates with a car, so it's easiest if I do the groceries myself. Speaking of roommates, what are your thoughts on this new club of Caprices? At first I thought it was just a diversion, but she really does want her art club to work out. She's talked a lot about you two as well, actually. Elle and I looked to each other in concern, Millie offering no further explanation beyond an indulgent smile. For all I tease her, I am sincerely glad to see Caprice so happy, that she shines brightest when she has something to work on. It's nice to see Millie care so much. They strike me as caring for each other as more than roommates, almost sisters or such. While I still feel the familiar pangs of homesickness from time to time, I'm finally seeing that sometimes family is more than who you grow up with. We all have people around to support us and help in what we set ourselves to doing. A ping from Millie's phone rings out. Elle and I going silent as she hastily takes it from her coat pocket. A resigned frown spreading on her face shows it's not good news. Noticing our concerned expression, she soon moves to allay our worries. Sorry, I have to go. Affairs of my own club need attention. Sometimes I wonder why I do this to myself.
Bye.
I ask myself that question all the time. Take it easy.
Take care.
Take care in the snow. It's starting to pile up.
Absolutely.
I'll make sure to. See you around. The two of us waver off, Millie quickly doubling back to fetch her still full cup and take it with her. A brief silence ensues between the two of us as we sip at our own, the quiet chatter of the other students and staff at the cafe providing background noise as we do.
Sorry.
Sorry for being so weird about the hunting, that is. I was shooting my mouth off. Forgot you liked animals and that sort of stuff. I didn't take you for liking the great outdoors. Being stuck indoors all the time is easy to do when focusing on painting, but it gets stifling. Bro, after a while. It'd be nice to take a trip somewhere with Elle, to the mountains or wherever else, seeing the places she likes to go, and how it influences her art. Probably not to go hunting though. Millie's nice. Keeping the writing club going sounds like a lot of work. See? Could never have had that nice chat if I hadn't called her over. You could stand to be a bit more social, you know. You're a good person. You get on perfectly fine with most. I'm flattered by what she's saying, but I'm not sure exactly how to put that into practice. Without a reply forthcoming, Elle gives this flustered sigh. Allison, why do you think I joined this dumb club? When she mentions it like that, I realized I never did give her a compelling reason. Caprice and I just pushed it on to her until she broke. Or at least that's how I understood it. I actually thought about joining the existing art club for a while, back when they first offered. They seemed interested in me, and I was just some bewildered freshman who didn't know anything at that point. Over time I realized they didn't give a damn about me, they just wanted my paintings and my skills. I was a trophy for their club, something to be shown off. That was when I gave up on them. So you joined this one because of Caprice was better?
No.
Because she's the last person I do this for. I joined the club for you, Allison. You just wanted to hang out while I did my thing. I like that. There was no mental games and no need to worry about ulterior motives. I had someone to share my interests with. That's all I really wanted. Worked out pretty well in the end. I got someone to share my love of painting with, and thought that maybe the club would help you open up a bit. She joined for my sake, as well as her own? I awkwardly fiddled with my coffee cup, trying to think of how to reply as my cheeks flush. I don't know what to say. Well, I do. We need to get to class. Raising an eyebrow at the change of topic, I grabbed my phone and checked the time. I really had completely lost track of time while relaxing here with Elle. Quickly jumped from my seat, pushing it in as Elle collects her things, swings her coat and scarf around her.
Oh!
Chemistry's about to start. What class did you have coming up? Math. All energy dissipates from the situation as I pat her shoulder in sympathy. Hang in there, Elle. I knew it. Okay, please tell me it ends at the date. No more. As much as I actually like this, we could stop. The elephant's mighty trumpeting sends a couple of children scurrying away with giggles of laughter. The animal as excited about the small crowd watching on as they are of him. Stepping back from the enclosure and joining Elle once more, the two of us walk on. Bro, I learned going to the zoo fucking sucks depending on who you go with. If you go with people who who are like you, who just want to dick around the entire time, it is so much fun. But then if you go with people who kind of just go just to look at the animals and shit, and not really dick around, just kind of just walk around, it's just not that fun. I'm not gonna lie, when I went on a Toronto trip when I was 13, me and one of my friends, we had this challenge where we were okay, our main goal is to piss off at least one animal and get it to try and attack us. So what we would do is we would grab fucking rocks from the ground and just start chucking it at animals. I know it's fucked up, but we did not give a shit. I'm gonna keep it a buck, bro. We were 13. What do you think a 13 is gonna fucking do at a zoo, bro? Let's be honest. Even as we bought our tickets, and I've never been here with so few people around. Usually this is a complete madhouse. It's nice. As we stroll on, Elle takes my hand in hers as we walk. It's weird how such a simple gesture can make me feel so warm. My cheeks hurting as I smile. I've seen it done in so many romantic movies, but actually feeling someone take my hand in theirs feels so unexpectedly comforting. Easy to please. You're easy to please. Without any real idea of how to respond, all I can do is keep walking. Maybe I should find it off-putting that Elle's so calm about this sort of thing compared to me. But I think I might even prefer it. She feels reliable. I think level-headed. Crowded or not, it's a nice zoo.
Huh?
You've never been here before? Considering I've only been in this city since college started, not really. Wait, where do you come from? Arkansas? Russia? My family immigrated a few years ago, so still getting used to how things work around here. She does not have an accent to her. The question of whether she was a native has genuinely never occurred to me. Wait, what? Doesn't have any kind of accent, so I would never have thought it. Yeah, what the fuck? If it was a few years ago, you would have an accent. You're what, 20? Whatever. If she's Russian, I couldn't tell at all. That was a lie. God damn it, motherfucker. God damn it. I can't tell if she meant for it to be a joke. Meant for it to be a joke. Her expression makes it obvious she didn't expect me to actually fall for it. It's too late to laugh now, and I just feel stupid for not questioning her. I'm actually from around here. but moved to Colorado when I was a kid. Never had much interest in zoos. W Colorado. If I were to live anywhere in the US, it would be Colorado and the Bay, but Colorado mostly. Colorado, huh? But why would you come back here? Moved out from my folks' place to make my own path, have my own home, partner, life, and all that. To choose to move so far away from her family, especially to live in her apartment alone, it's hard to imagine considering how it's been for me. Having problems with her family is one thing, but jumping the states to get away from them. So I'm assuming... Oh my god. This game takes place in Chicago. Is that Obelok right there? The zoo? Left wondering if I should delve into the topic any further. Al speaks up as we leave the Savannah area. The few people around the zoo seem to be congregating around the eating area ahead, which is a good sign we should grab some lunch too. Hungry? Just a little bit. To be honest, I just need rest. Elle's pace is unrelenting, yet she looks fine despite how ragged I am. I don't understand it. I'll go grab something then. Go grab a seat for us before they're all taken, would you?
Sure thing.
Roger. Caprice's speech patterns are rubbing off on you. We both share a grimace at the idea before we part. Elle heading for the hot food stall ahead as I skip down to one of the unused tables on the outside of the seating area. I practically fall into the hard metal seat, watching the condensation from my breathing rise into the air as I recover myself. If nothing else, at least going out with Elle will do wonders for my fitness. Several couples in line ahead of her, Elle crosses her arms, patiently waits. Can't help but let my eyes settle on her as she does. Ever since we met, I've noticed how beautiful she is. Her order made, I'm a little impressed at her managing to bring the sodas and hot dogs over in the one trip. With some careful use. My mouth is tired from talking. Hungry from all the walking, I quickly slide mine towards me as she sets them down and takes a seat.
How much was my share?
It's fine, don't worry.
Let's go.
You already bought my ticket.
I said it's fine. Besides, it's nice to dote on someone.
When she puts it like that, it's hard to argue with her. Letting Elle have her way, I start on my food. A loud bird squawks in the distance, its calls reaching right across the entire zoo. Zoom? Oh my god, zoo. I've always liked the strange and unfamiliar sounds you get in a place like this, compared to the relative quiet of the apartments and routine sounds of school. As comfortable as Elle looks, packing up her quickly finished hot dog and soda, pitching them into a nearby bin, I can't quite seem to settle down. Thankfully, she's willing to take charge, given that I have no idea what I'm doing or how to act.
Enjoying yourself?
Ah, yes!
Some anime ass, what was that fucking Deku ass voice line? Ah, yes! I really need to settle down. At least she doesn't seem to be too harsh on me for my nervousness. But it's plainly obvious that this is my first date.
That's good. I'm not sure what to make of you when you clam up.
I'm just not as used to this as you are.
What makes you think that?
You've never gone out with someone before?
Do I look like I have?
I almost blurted out a rather blunt answer. Uncompromising is definitely the word for her, but that doesn't mean she couldn't have a girlfriend before me. Especially at our age, come to think of it, at least I had the excuse of being a bit shy and focusing myself on schoolwork. Elle said said herself she's known since at least high school. Elle brings her head down. Don't look at me like that. Heads down, resting her chin on her arms, as they both lay on the table. I'm dumbstruck as she looks up to me with those tired eyes of hers.
For what it's worth, I'm glad you're my first. You're a sweet girl.
That look she gives me single-handedly explains why people do all this dating business. For one brief moment, it feels like the two of us really in sync as we look into each other's eyes. Only for a moment though, before a small bird suddenly lands on the table between us. Its head darts this way and that, but it doesn't seem in the least bit shy about parking itself in front of Elle's startled face.
Well, now, hello there.
Ah, a little fox sparrow. It's so cute.
Even my excited whispers don't seem to bother the little thing, leading me gingerly breaking off a little of my hot dog bun to try and feed it. Can't? Nah, I think birds can eat grain, but not ducks. Learn this. Apparently, the ducks can't actually, like, they don't get any nutrients from eating bread. While a little too timid to outright take the food from my fingers, it seems quite happy to pick out a few sprinkles of the bun I leave before it on the table. Elle seems content to simply watch our little companion.
You know what it's actually called?
It's orange and white, after all.
That would make it easy to remember.
As the slightly chubby bird busies itself, becoming a little chubbier, I feel my cheeks hurting from my smiling.
You really like animals, don't you?
I pause a little, but quickly start feeding again as the bird looks at me expectantly. If our little friend lives around the zoo, it's obvious how it could become so tame.
We've always had pets back home, so I grew up around them.
Your family keeps getting bigger and bigger. Must have been a hard change when you moved out.
Having apparently had its fill. Ugh. The bird spreads its wing. Oh my god. And flies off at the surprising speed for its weight. I wave as it goes, my hot dog the worse for wear thanks to my picking at the bun.
Bye-bye.
You're a dork.
I laugh off her jab before continuing our conversation. It was hard when I left, yeah? I have a new family now, though. Fuck, I have a new family now, though. You, Caprice, Rose, and everyone else I've met at college. Yeah, a real family. Disappointingly, Elle looks rather skeptical at the idea. Then again, she doesn't seem to get on that well with anyone besides Wallace and I. I was always an optimist, I guess. Nothing wrong with that. Maybe some of it'll rub off on me. Elle picks herself up from the table, giving a big stretch as she does. For a moment, we just look at each other, simply appreciative of the fact that we're here together.
Allison.
Hey, Alice.
Huh?
Yeah? What? As she picks herself up a little off her chair in order to lean across the table, it becomes obvious what she's doing. Relaxed enough to let her get away with a quick peck, I close my eyes and lean forward, a little in anticipation. My heart beating just that little bit faster. As the feeling of her tongue hits my cheek, my body suddenly freezes up as a shiver runs down my spine. I hear myself give a weird, startled gasp before I reflexively fall back into my chair. Elle looks rather nonplussed? As she settles back into her own chair, her eyes studying me as she does.
Oh!
What was that? You just had mustard on your cheek. And I thought, and I was maybe bullying you a little. Feel my face flower into a wild blush. I don't even know what the fuck happened. A grimace as I grimace at her, partly for her betrayal after my expectation of affectionate gesture, and partly startling me so badly. Wow, it is getting to the point now where it's just my reading capabilities have just gone down the fucking drain. Alright. I don't know quite how to read Elle's interested expression, but I don't care to ask as I sulk. I'm genuinely a little mad at her, but I don't think it's getting through. I'm still not as used to the physical side of all this. Letting out an amused snort and picking herself up from her seat, Elle dusts herself off and gets ready to go. Come on, Miss Pouty Lips, let's get moving before the weather goes bad. What's gonna fucking happen here? Hold on. As Elle closes the door to the apartment, I let my coat drop to the floor as I collapse over the back of her couch in exhaustion. How this girl can keep such a pace for a whole day is totally beyond me. Even now, she doesn't seem to be bothered. The only sign she's tired at all being some stretching after she takes off her scarf and coat. Haven't collapsed on me, have you? Is my little mutt doing all good? I'm dead, skeleton. Better check it before digging the grave. Remember how they used to do that? Sticking a big pin into the toe to see if they woke up from the pain?
Oh!
Look at that, I'm suddenly alive. It's a Christmas miracle. As she busies herself behind me, my eyes drawn to her entertainment, to her cabinet that the television is sitting on. With curiosity getting the better of me, and perhaps to distract my wandering mind, I walk around the couch and press at the right door to pop it open. I'm hardly surprised that the movies inside are perfectly organized, but the genres she's collected are strange. Want a coffee or something? While you rummage through my stuff? I'm not rummaging, I try to think of another word to describe what I'm doing, but it doesn't take long to realize Elle's right. Looking like a kid caught with their hand in the cookie jar as she walks back over, I try to change topics. You really like westerns or something? They're all either those or documentaries. Westerns. I'm so confused. Sorry to disappoint. I just like westerns. Can't beat a nice simple plot with a good guy drifting into a town, getting one over. Oh, like Wild West movies, and walking into the sunset. Nice landscapes too.
Sure.
Rango, bro. Rango is one of the best fucking movies. I don't care. I don't fucking care. Right. That makes sense. Something feels off as we stand around in her apartment and chat, but it's hard to put my finger on it. The silences are just a little too long. The chatter nothing more than small talk we've usually never needed. Here we are, the evening after a date, and filling in time milling about in her quiet apartment. Even the usual background noise of passing cars and busy tenants I hear around my home are nowhere to be heard. Just the two of us shuffling about alone. The thought of sharing a night with Elle has passed my mind more than once, even if I've tried to distract myself from it. Is it too early? Would she think I'm weird? Does she think I'm clapped? Without any real reason to. I idly fiddle, Jesus Christ, with Elle's movie collection and read off the covers to seem occupied. You know, alright, our date doesn't have to end now. As her words trail off, my heart freezes. Her stoic face only makes this worse, my brain freezing between bashfulness and shock at her being so blunt. We've only started dating, but the thought of sleeping together had passed my mind. Left sputtering about, I awkwardly turned away to hide my expression. Do you want to watch one of them together? Do what you want. Do what you want. I'm going to take a shower. Right, I'll just get a drink. As she leaves, I wandered over to the kitchen and grabbed a glass, pouring some O.J. Simpson for myself to try and refocus. My heart's still racing, the thought of what Elle suggested still playing on my mind. I wonder if I should really be letting Elle take care of so much. She doesn't seem to mind at all, but that's not really the problem. Even now, she suggested we do what I did want to try, and I couldn't even bring myself to just accept it. I want to get closer to her, but it feels like everything's happening at her pace. Then again, Elle's not the only person in my life I've dated. I've let dote on me while I go with the flow of others. The door from the bathroom opens as I sit down the new empty glass. The words are stolen from my mouth as I walk over to talk with her. Huh?
Oh!
Allison? I am so ready to fucking close this shit. My face burns hot as I stammer the words, but she steps closer. She takes my hands to stop me from moving away, holding them softly. Her face is so close to mine. I can feel her breathing. Her eyes look into mine, questioning. Suddenly, the thought of even a kiss makes my head light. All I can do is nod a tiny nod, which is enough for her to close the distance, kissing me more deeply than she ever has before. My heart races as her tongue touches mine, teasing it just a little bit before pulling back. I can hardly breathe by the time we separate, left clutching my chest and taking a deep breath to try and regain myself. Looked like you didn't get it, so I decided to be more blunt. With our excitement over, the two of us had a shower to clean up before settling in for the night. Enveloped in the soft, loving warmth as Elle cuddles me, I almost want to nod off already as she gently strokes the back of my head, as she gently gives me backstrokes. Given how she can be towards others, it's a real surprise she's physically intimate. I have to admit that I like this side of Elle, snuggling into her body as I think so.
I love you, Eileen.
I know.
That's not what you're supposed to say.
All right. I love you too.
Even a few weeks ago, I never imagined I'd be sleeping with someone.
I am
We
like
won't see
ear
each
to
other
ear.
for a while, so we have to make the most of our time before holidays.
Oh yeah, I'd forgotten all about that excitement. Yep. It'll be nice to see everyone again, but there's a pang of disappointment that I can't be with Eileen anymore.
You'll be going to stay with your family, right?
Yeah, Colorado's not bad, so at least it'll be a nice change of scenery.
It'll be nice to see my sister again too. As Elle thinks about her faraway family, I'm reminded of my own. I've been excited to go back home for the holidays for weeks now, but with her gone,
You okay?
I'll be fine. I just wished I could go with you.
Sorry?
as a plan forms in my head, I try to summon the same strong will she and Caprice have.
I'd like to be with you over the break. Could I come?
Elle looks unsure of what to say. I wonder if she's trying to decipher if I'm making a serious suggestion or not. Even if I don't know.
You talk about me going fast. Didn't you want to see your own family really badly?
I do, but they won't be back home right away. I'll go back before Christmas.
Dude.
I don't want to be alone until then.
She looks taken aback. I suddenly find I'm actually arguing for this, instead of merely voicing a whim.
I'm not really sure about this. You've never
I
been
think this
outside
is
the city, let alone the state. Then there's the fact that you'll be in a house full of strangers.
I coped with moving into Rose's apartment, and I'll be with you. After how much you've helped me until now, I'm sure I'll be fine.
She tries to stare me down, but I've managed to find an internal willpower in some corner of myself I didn't know existed. Eventually, thankfully, Elle lets out a long, tired breath.
Fine. You win. You can come.
Thank you.
Just don't try to fix things, okay?
She gonna try and fix things. As I snuggle into her warmth with a grin of victory, Elle silently smiles as she pats my my head once more. There's more! Ah! The classroom lies silent, save for the scratching of pencils against paper. I've already finished my math test, the unwillingness to be first to turn in being the only thing keeping me glued to my desk. I'm thankful for the chance to rest, though. Elle's pace as we scooted around the zoo took all my effort to keep up with. And and then there was other business we got up to. Fucking. Someone finally brings his paper to the front, other students following suit soon after. I quickly joined them, eagerly placing my tests on the teacher's desk and packing my things afterwards. The last final of the semester now over, I'm ready to go home and to see Elle one last time before she leaves for Colorado.
Hey!
The loud voice from behind makes me jump in startlement.
Hey,
Hey, Caprice. Hi. My heart slowly... Please. My heart slowly moves out of my throat with Caprice and I starting off together towards art club. I considered asking Elle if she could walk back to her apartment together instead. If we could. But I couldn't leave without saying my goodbyes to Caprice and Wallace if I could find them. What brings you to my class anyway? Millie wasn't around, so I got lonely. So I'm the second choice, huh? Well, at least I can be around for her. You really are close, aren't you? Yep, we grew up together, and now we live together. Millie and me and Haley. She's our other friend. We take good care of each other. There really are all kinds of relationships. It's so different from high school where everyone was neatly organized into friends, classmates, or strangers, and we all just lived with our parents. You have a roommate? What are they like? I live with a family friend. She's nice. Even if she looks a bit rough, I have the apartment to myself a lot though. What? The statement gives to me Caprice, seems to give Caprice food for thought. You shouldn't look so tired. School's finally over for the year.
Yeah!
And that's why we're having a special art club meeting.
huh?
Extra special. You'll see what I mean. I have a feeling she's working this out as she goes along. I still can't decide if I like that spontaneous of hers. It's endearing, but there's no sense of stability to her like Elle has. As we head towards the arts building, we spot Elle just outside, busy huffing into her hands and rubbing them together for a little warmth. It takes a moment for her to realize us. Notice us. Elle, hi. As she looks up in my direction, I notice her shoulders relax a little. It wasn't long ago that I only ever saw Elle tense and on guard, but now she's reflexively relaxed and she went around me. It's nice. For her part, Caprice just bowls on ahead without a care in the world.
Hey!
Elle tenses right back up as she sees my companion. The moment lost. Still, I'm left rather happy at the effect I have on Elle, whether she notices or not. Afternoon, you two. Caprice, why are you looking at me like that? It's creeping me out. Caprice grabs onto both our shoulders and, to my surprise, directs us away from the arts building. We've had a change of plans. Do I gotta say in this? Once again, Caprice either doesn't hear or chooses to ignore the question. By the time we arrive at my apartment and shirk our coats, it's already dark enough to flick the lights on as we enter. Apart from the sound of passing cars, the only sounds are Caprice's exaggerated sounds of thoughtful inspection. Elle raises an eyebrow as Caprice whips out her phone to take a photo for posterity. The item disappearing into her pants pocket almost as quickly as it appeared. Will you just leave that thing? You've been fiddling with your phone on the way here for more than Allison does. Hey. Well, it's true. Caprice gives a thumbs up, but it has the opposite effect, if anything. Her agreement is just a little too quick, given how stubborn Caprice usually is. So Rose isn't here then? She drifts in and out. I've given up trying to work out any schedule to it.
Cool!
Cool posters. They're my roommates. She's been living here longer than me, so the decorations are all hers. Oh, the music just randomly stopped? Okay. A knock on the door rings out for 4 light taps struck with a metronome's timing. Come in. Door's unlocked.
Huh?
Huh? What's going on? This is my apartment, you know. Caprice just grins, drawing a grimace from Elle. What did you think I was on my phone for? Called over some friends. That's where the entrance is? I thought it was over on the right. The old door creaks open with Millie's head peering into the living room, assured that she's come to the right place. She skips in the unmistakable figure of Millie, have you heard from Haley? Millie answers as she takes off her coat, Wallace doing the same for his scarf.
Hello there.
She's at home, sleeping. Seems like finals tired her out. She never wants to go anywhere. I don't know this Haley, but I know... but I feel like I can relate. It's not just about finals or going particular places. Being around people is exhausting in itself. Lately, I've been looking forward to it, though. Even if it takes a lot out of me. The clinking of bottles draws my attention. Looking downwards, showing a 6-pack of bottled beer being carried in one hand, and a plastic bag with a couple brightly colored nacho packets visible inside. Caprice looks up to the two, surprised just as I am by the presents they've brought along. Just a little something for the special event. I can't believe you didn't take the Santa hat they were offering, though.
Not happening.
I'm not wearing a Santa hat, Christmas or not. Why not? It would have suited you. Don't you start. So this was Caprice's plan, a party to celebrate the end of college for the year. I really have preferred her just to tell me, but there's also a begrudging respect that she apparently managed to organize all this during the short trip from the college to my apartment. I'm about to warn Wallace about Millie casting covetous eyes on his beard when Elle leans over and murmurs in my ear.
Allison.
Is a party here going to be a problem for you?
Sure.
It'll be fine, I think. Satisfied with my answers, she steps over to the couch and takes a seat with a sigh, despite my waving off of the concern. I appreciate Elle's sense of responsibility. As we talk, Wallace sets down the beer and chips on the table. Caprice wastes no time in scooting over and ripping open the bag, Millie soon following and taking a seat across from her. The fact she steals one of the beer bottles doesn't go unnoticed.
Millie.
Wallace.
Just one, it wouldn't hurt, right?
Hey!
But I'm hungry, I'm just not reading her lines. Wallace just sighs, defeated as the two bicker over the food. I feel a little sorry for him, but given he did bring them. Wow, I can't read. Make yourselves at home. Elle gestures for me to come join her, jerking her head, giving up any thought that I could control them. I skip over and take a seat to the cushion next to her. Let me save. As Elle turns towards the television, she finds a beer bottle held in front of her face. Looking up to the smiling Wallace offering it, she takes it in her hand. Merry Christmas, Elle. Cheers, same to you. The two clink their bottles together, popping the lids with a bottle opener on Wallace's keychain before Elle slashes back into the couch. While the thought passes my mind that the last thing I'd want is an alcohol-fueled mess at my place, those fears are put to rest as the two gently sip away. They're just friends sharing a drink, not partygoers looking to get as drunk as they can. I hate getting drunk. It's actually so ass. Like, every time I've gotten drunk, I've never had a hangover, but like, just being drunk, because like I still feel like somewhat conscious whenever I'm drunk. I've been blackout before, but like, it's never been too bad. Looking around the room, this sure is low-key for a college party. We're just friends drinking and gossiping. It's nice, far from the wild craziness I expected when I heard tales about college when growing up. Guess I fell in with the right crowd. What are you doing hanging out with us losers anyway, Millie? Writing club not doing anything special?
No, not really.
They're doing this and that, but most of them seem to have plans. The leader and his friends are graduating, so it's hard to keep up. Going to be up to me to keep the ship sailing. Sounds like you're going to have your hands full next semester, then. Whoopsies. Always up for a challenge.
Wallace!
Hey, Wallace. Caprice's excited tone as she wolfs down her mouthful of nachos fails to enthuse him. Fuck. Remember what we talked about at the pizza place? I mean, about your club and all.
No.
No. But
No.
no. Millie grins triumphantly at her friend's expense. I feel a little sorry for Wallace being caught in their rivalry. I'm the only one who notices the creak of the door. My attention wholly focused on on it as I wonder who's arrived. Part of me worries that Caprice organized for more people to come. The girl now bickering with Millie. As the leather-clad woman steps in, everyone in the room suddenly drops into a dead silence as they stare back at her. The woman being just as dumbstruck.
Hey.
What's up? I struggle to stifle a chuckle, never having seen Rose act so awkwardly before. Everyone, this is my roommate, Rose. Rose, these are my friends from college. The clarification has the intended effect. Everyone relaxing as soon as the words are said. Whew. Sure is some wild party you got going on here.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, actually, I'm left wondering what she's doing as she clicks her fingers and dives back from my coat. After a few minutes fishing about, she manages to pluck out my phone. After handing it to me to enter the unlock code, Rose stands back in the corner of the room and holds it up in both hands. Just gonna take a quick photo for the folks. Smile, guys. Caprice and Millie need no further prompting, leaning forward towards each other as Caprice flashes a V and gives a toothy grin. I simply lean towards Elle as she does the same. As we do, I idly note that this will be our first photo together. As Rose brings the camera steady, I can't stop myself from smiling. I spent so long stressing about being away from my family, but I knew it. I found myself surrounded by a new one. We might all be a bit odd, but we get along. I found someone to hold dear, and who cares for me? We're all in this together. My fault. Celebrating life in my little slice of this city. I finally made a life that I can call my own. Thank you, everyone. Rose, Rose, Caprice, Wallace, even Millie. And especially Elle. Act 3, A World Away. There's still more? There's still more? I thought it was done. Oh my god. Alright, hold on. Nah. If there's still more, bro, I'll finish this another time, bro. Oh my god, I thought there was so much less. But, yeah, next time we'll finish this up. Actually, hold on, let me search it. If it's short, I'll continue playing. If it's not short, I'll stop. Jesus Christ, why was there so many fucking new chapters for Komi-san? Alright. Alright, yeah. I think I'm a... Alright, yeah. I'm gonna leave this for another time. So the next time we play, I think it's either gonna be all of Act 3, but Act 2 like took a decent amount of time to get through. Alright, yeah. Save again. Can never go wrong with saving. Main menu. But yeah, that's gonna be it for today. For this game at least. Yeah.